I don't think an agent should talk rate. I try to tell everybody, stay in your lane.
Yes.
A real estate agent should sell houses and help buy houses. A mortgage person should not get into a title issue, should not get into an attorney's job, and certainly should not get into a real estate job. Their job is to do the financing and do the mortgage. I think real estate agents should stick with that. They should stay in their lane, just like a mortgage person should stay in their lane.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Dream is Real podcast. This is a show where we turn your real estate dreams into reality. I'm your host, Kim, and if you're looking to take your real estate game to the next level, this is the place to be. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. Today, we are here with someone who has known the mortgage industry inside and out. And we are also going to welcome him back to our show again. Thank you so much, Nick Ceccarini.
Thank you very much.
He's the president of Weatherstone Mortgage, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, Nick, let's just get right into it.
Let's talk.
Okay. So let's talk. So from the beginning, like you built Weatherstone Mortgage into a respected name. I've seen you all over Instagram. Like I know you work with a lot of different agents and stuff like that. What made you get into this business?
All right. So it's a long story, but I've been doing this since 1989. I graduated high school in 88. I went to college for a very short period of time. That didn't work out. I went to college just to play hockey. And because of my height, it didn't work out. So I came home from college after that short stay. I got into the credit union world first. And when I was in the credit union world, they put me into the credit business. Okay. I started doing credit card processing and credit cards for the first couple of years and eventually elevated into the mortgage business, which I love.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for listeners who might not know, okay, I know you're a mortgage broker.
Correct.
All right. So what sets Weatherstone apart from like a big bank lender?
Well, first, at being a mortgage broker, we're not directing a loan to one specific place. We're not only taking a product from that one bank offers. So if you walked into Citibank or Chase, you walk in and you kind of get the products that lender offers. When you do it with a broker, your product comes into us. We look at what your income, your asset, and your credit is, what's the best facilitating loan for that person. And then we get to shop with all wholesale lenders across the country to see what's the best option for them. And we do it based on rate and on closing costs. What sets us apart is that we're a family atmosphere. Every one of our clients are treated like family. From the beginning to the end, we truly treat them like family.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you feel like that makes the process much smoother when they're dealing with the broker?
Without a doubt. I mean, when you walk into a bank these days, it's no more, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, let's take care of your mortgage situation. You're talking to a member service person that's opening a checking account 5 minutes ago and now doing a mortgage. Right. It's a little different. For us, we treat it as if it's like a lawyer. If you were going to go to court, you bring a lawyer with you that has the expertise and the professionalism. Well, in the mortgage business, it's the biggest purchase of your life.
Yes.
So we kind of bring into it a professional that's been around a long time that can handle your transaction, as well as make every person feel comfortable, make the people feel like they're getting the best option that's out there for them, and explaining it on the way.
Definitely. That's right. So, I think that pretty much makes that person or that buyer feel like it's part of a team.
Without a doubt. We try to do that. We, as you said earlier, we work with a lot of different real estate companies. We work with a lot of different attorneys. We work with a lot of different title companies. Mm-hmm. We kind of try to make the whole entire team work together on the same page. So the buyer is treated from the day they get pre-approved to the day they're at the closing table, or even post-closing, that they have a team around them, not just a mortgage person. I'm only as good as the people around me. And I don't just mean my office, but the real estate agent that's involved, or the attorney that's involved, the title company that's involved. The whole transaction, when we send the appraiser to the house, their professionalism, their knowledge of the area. When you have a title company, you want to know that they have the right connections with the towns and the searches to be able to go through. And no one should buy a house without a real estate agent. They should not. They shouldn't sell their house or they shouldn't buy a house without a real estate agent. That is 30-something years of experience, seeing every way of buying a house, selling a house. There is no reason for anybody to ever sell or buy a house without an agent.
Definitely, definitely. So I love that because communication is everything.
I think we have teamwork that's needed right now.
Yes.
I think that the market is different right now. So you'll get a lot of buyers that make offers and don't get accepted, or you pull up and there's 15 people outside, out front waiting online. And you could tell that people are tired, especially the younger kids. The houses are getting more expensive and they're beat up. They're tired of not getting their offer accepted. They're tired of, we went 50,000 over ask or 100,000 over ask. And then you get the buyer's remorse now where when they finally get the accepted deal, did I go too high? And you're getting them to second guess. So I think going back to that teamwork thing, I think the person has to be so comfortable with, I'm getting approved and I'm going to get a mortgage to purchase this property. And that's a solid part of it. Then they have to be even more comfortable with their real estate agent. They need to know that their agent is getting them in the right house, finding the right opportunity, has a name that's known enough that the listing agent trusts and respects them so that they can work as a team. Because the listing agent and the buyer's agent, it's really important right now that they work as a team to make for the transaction go through. And with the laws that came out, changed it a little bit with who pays who and stuff like that. I think that now, like you said, communication is the biggest thing.
Yes. But how do you, as the mortgage broker, how do you try to make sure that your real estate agent and your attorneys, along with your clients, all stay in loop?
From the beginning, I'll send an email out that has everybody included in every transaction, not just the buyers. I try to stay away from the seller's attorney. I respect my buyer's privacy, so I kind of just stay in touch with the buyers, but I will stay in touch with the listing agent and the buyer's agent at the same time. Just telling them the steps of what's going on. We took an application, they're pre-approved, you got into contract, you got approved, the appraisal's being done, the appraisal came in good, borrower has a commitment letter, and then I kind of stay out of it and let the real estate people do their thing. I've learned over the years, the mortgage broker is only, or the mortgage originator is only up to a certain point. And then at that point, you really need to take a step back and let the real estate agents do what they do best.
Right. All right, great. So let's go over towards the market right now. Okay. So yeah,
I've seen it all.
That smile, you know exactly where we're going to go.
I mean, all right. Yeah. So a couple different things. One, we're not in any '08 crash or anything like that. As you see, everybody buying a house these days, there's very few people that go with a little skin in the game. Everybody's got 5% down, 10% down, 20% down, 50% down, cash buyers. Everybody is doing stuff now where it's not an inflated market based on the fact that I can get you 120% financing. It is truly that there's a market right now where everybody's fighting over the same house. The inventory is not there, so they're all fighting. If you get a house that's really done well right now, the offers are unbelievable. Most of them selling right away, first 3 days, first weekend. I specialize in open houses, so I do a lot of open houses. I do anywhere from 5 to 10 a week with different real estate agents. And I think that that's probably what I do different than most, is because I see the buyers come in. I help both sides in the transaction. I help the listing agent and the seller comfortable with the buyer that buys their house is going to be qualified and the transaction is going to happen. You shouldn't have to worry about, is the mortgage going to get approved? If the buyer comes in and they're qualified and the right person did a pre-approval, I think that that's an important part of this. You really need to make sure that the entire process is smooth, and by being there from day one helps.
Definitely.
The market, I think that there's still a seller's market out there. I don't think it's flipped to the buyer's market yet. It's getting there, but I think it's still a seller's market. Houses are still selling right away. You do have some sellers that are trying to jump ahead of the bidding war, and it's hurting them. I see that a house, I'm going to use a number and say $700,000. If you expect to get $700,000, if you list that house at $675,000, you'll get $710,000. But if you expect to get $700,000 and you list it at $725,000, it's on the market way too long. When they start seeing the price drops, everybody all of a sudden thinks, what's wrong with the house?
Definitely.
And I think that is trusting your agent to give you the right number to list it.
Yep.
You really, the sellers really have to have faith in the real estate agent. And Definitely. As you see, I'm so pro real estate agent. for all different companies, because I want to see that they're the professional. They're licensed to sell your home. You're not licensed to sell a home as a seller. You're hiring a professional that knows what they're doing to help you sell your home and get the most for it. And the commission part of it is built into you. Without that commission, you're not going to get the true dollar that you should get on the sale. Sure. So I tell people now's the time to buy it, because as the rates start going down, the buying power gets more and the prices are going to go up, because the people that could afford 600 now, maybe order 650 the next month or in 2 months or, next year. So I think that with that going on, I think people should buy now and then wait a year and refinance if rates come down, but at least you'll get the home and you'll get the price.
You actually just went right into what my next question
sorry
would
about
have been.
that.
But it was like when a person asks us, like, should I wait for the rates to drop?
Okay.
Like, what is your honest take on that? Like, evidently you just said no.
I look back. I don't have a crystal ball. I happen to be pretty good at this, but I don't have a crystal ball. I've predicted a couple things in the market in the past. Rates, I think, will definitely come down a little bit more. But find anybody that bought in the last 3 years who said I should have waited. Nobody. There's not one buyer that I've done a mortgage for that says I should have waited.
Right.
They're all in the situation where they say, thank God I bought then. Oh my God, do you know what I'd be paying now? And those people will have the benefit of maybe they bought in the 7s and now they'll go into the 5s with a refinance. And now they got their lower price and they'll be able to get their lower rate. If they waited to today, they're paying $50,000 to $100,000 more for the house. So that rate difference didn't help them. So I tell everybody, buy now. Yeah. They're not making any more land. This is it. The earth is the earth. There's no more land. And that's the thing. So when it comes up for sale, if you find the right house, put a number in your head that you're comfortable with and go for it. I wouldn't overspend. Don't just throw a number out there because you're tired of fighting for your house. Right. Don't do that. Don't put an offer in $50,000, $100,000 over ask if it's not what you want to spend. I try to make everybody comfortable with a number. A lot of people do it based on payment. How can I get my payment lower? I want to pay $5,000 a month. I want to pay $6,000 a month. And then they go from there. What number can I get to, Nick, based on my $6,000 a month? Yeah. And I try to explain, well, homeowners insurance comes into there, taxes come into there. If it's a condo, HOAs come in there, and then the interest rate plays a part of it. But even if we got to do it in steps, take the $6,000 mortgage now, and then in a year from now, if we can refinance and get you into the $5,000 range, it's the best of both worlds. Yeah.
And it's crazy that those are the ranges now, $5,000 and $6,000.
Oh, every day. I very rarely give a mortgage payment out under $4,000. Yeah. I mean, in Long Island, the taxes are going to be $1,000 minimum right off the bat. Yep. There's a lot of government programs out there that people on Long Island don't qualify for. And the reason they don't qualify for is because the median income, if it's an income range based loan, a lot of times the person's income can't afford a house on Long Island. That's what happens, is because the programs are set up so it's supposed to help everybody, but it finds that they only help certain areas because of the lower priced homes. A more expensive home doesn't qualify for any of those programs, or else you have $7,000 or $8,000 mortgage payments.
All right. So for agents that are tuning in, all right, what do you feel they should be communicating to their buyers to help boost their confidence despite all that rate noise?
I think that the rates should be on the side right now. I don't think an agent should talk rate. I try to tell everybody, stay in your lane. Yes. A real estate agent should sell houses and help buy houses. A mortgage person should not get into a title issue, should not get into an attorney's job, and certainly should not get into a real estate job. Their job is to do the financing and do the mortgage. I think real estate agents should stick with that. They should stay in their lane, just like a mortgage person should stay in their lane, and stick to not worrying about it. Let them refer to the mortgage person and concentrate on the job they do. We have some amazing real estate agents on Long Island. I'm so pro real estate agent, you have no idea. I believe that it's the only thing that makes the process smooth is the real estate agent. And that's the most important person. Yeah, I get a lot of credit because I do the financing and I bring the money to the table. But the truth is that the real estate agent does all the work.
Definitely.
And without that, it's not a glorious job at times.
It's not. It's not.
But post-closing is the best because there's nothing like watching. I go to almost all my closings, and on a purchase, there's nothing like watching the clients hug the real estate agent saying, thank you, I found my home. That I think is the best part of the whole process is that I enjoy the beginning because I watch young kids sit in my office and say, I want to buy this. And I kind of do their income, asset, and credit. No, you should buy that.
Right.
That's my fun because I kind of like the teaching part of it. But I love watching the real estate agents and at the closings and watch them hug and walk out. And you see the faces of, oh my God, let's start moving. Let's start packing. We're going to go move into our new home. And I have a lot of phrases and funny stories about the endings, but it's a lot of fun.
So you touched on something a little bit there when you were talking about the beginning steps. So like that pre-approval.
People argue with me, what's the first step? It's like the chicken or the egg. I think you should find your real estate agent first. Find your real estate agent, get pre-approved, let the relationship build between the mortgage person and the realtor, no matter who they are.
Right.
They don't have to be a recommended. So if you get referred by me from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I did a mortgage for them in the past, and you use whoever the real estate agent is, you go to the real estate agent, you tell them that I got my pre-approval through Nick from Weatherstone, and then come in and sit down, or we do Zoom, or we do whatever, and I'll do that pre-approval, and then I can have an educated conversation with the realtor. This is what they truly can buy. This is what they should be looking for. If their max is 600, don't show them $600,000 houses because the bidding war is going to go over 600, and now I got a problem. But if that communication between you and I is excellent, then the buyer's in good hands.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. So let's do a little bit of myth busting.
Okay. Sure.
So what are the top 2 to 3 misconceptions that you hear from buyers about getting a mortgage?
The biggest myth is that you'll get a better deal walking into a bank directly. That's probably the biggest myth because there's nothing that could be more untrue than that.
Yeah.
Every bank has their own products. Every bank has some positives and negatives. I'm a huge supporter of brokers and bankers more than a bank. I don't think big box banks really want to lend anymore. I think they would make more money buying it and selling it. They don't portfolio anything. So everything gets sold. Anyone that has a mortgage now sees every 6 months to a year, you get a letter in the mail that the servicing has been sold to a new company. So it's not like I'm going to use Chase because my loan is going to stay and I like Mrs. Smith that's at the bank and do that. Your loan's not going to stay there.
Right.
So if you go to a bank or a broker, they're able to have multiple outlets for that loan. So I think that that's probably the biggest myth is going directly to the bank is different than doing that. Other myths in the mortgage process, I don't have a lot of them. I really don't. I think that would probably be my biggest.
Okay. All right. So what would you tell somebody or if they've been turned down before, right? And they feel intimidated by the whole mortgage process. Like, what advice would you give them?
Well, like I said, we treat everybody like family. I like to trigger that. It's when someone gets turned down by someone else and then comes to me, I'm at an advantage because I know why. Where's the problem?
Yeah.
How do I fix the problem before it starts? So if you have an asset problem, I know that we got to work on that before we go to the next step and tell you, go sell them a house. If we have an income problem, we got to figure out why. Do we need a cosigner? Is your job there not 2 years and we got to wait till the 2-year period? Like we try to figure out the whys in why did they get turned down so we can fix it. So it's easier that way. So it shouldn't be intimidating. Not everybody is ready to buy a house today.
Exactly.
So I tell people, come in, let's talk about it. Let's go over what your goals are. And sometimes you got to work for them to get there. You know, you don't win an NBA championship just coming as a rookie, walk in and hit the 3-pointer and win. You got to build a team and you got to build it until you get there. And I think that that's the same thing with the mortgage process is that you got to build it until you get there.
Right. So it may not be right now, but it's...
Yeah. I have a lot of people that come in with, I got turned down, I have really bad credit. I go, wait, let's run a report. Let's look what's wrong with the report. Number one, we're going to try to do credit repair or come up with some ideas of what paid off or why not. Or maybe you got to be an authorized user on someone else's card to build your credit score. But at the same time, my favorite thing is, okay, you pay $2,000 a month rent. Your mortgage payment is going to be $5,000. So as we're building it, I want you to save $3,000 a month. So if it takes 4 months, you're going to be saving $3,000. One, you're going to have more money. You're going to have more closing. Plus, you're going to live your life the way it's going to be. Because if we close, you can't change it.
Nope.
But if you practice it, you might say, no, I don't like living like this. Okay, then don't buy that $5,000 house a month and buy a $4,000 a month house. Or you may say, oh, we did it, no problem. And then you can go maybe a little bit higher. But at least if you practice it, it's one thing and you're not out of it. So I kind of put both things together. I say practice as well as try to fix the problem as it's going.
Okay.
So I welcome people that were turned down. Don't be intimidated. Come, talk to us, sit down. We'll figure it out.
So we was talking before about partnering with agents, right? Okay. So like you said, and like I've seen through your Instagram, you do partner with a lot of different real estate professionals. What makes a strong partnership between an agent and a broker?
Trust. It's all right. So that I work with a lot of different agents. Some of them are the top agents in the business on Long Island. I've been around a long time. I've seen agents come and go. I've seen them switch companies and stuff like that. Most agents don't stay at the same company. They go from company to company. So I see a lot of that. I find that the agents that say, Nick does the mortgage and I do the selling is the best. When they want to be involved in the mortgage process, I think that's where the problems come. I think that the relationship between myself and the real estate agents are best when you don't have to worry about a mortgage ever again. You refer them to me. I tell you they can get a mortgage and you no longer have to worry about that.
Right.
The trust in the fact that Nick's going to get it done. The second part to that is I have to make sure that I do a really good job on every loan I do with the clients. They have to have the lowest closing cost. They have to have the best rate that it can possibly get them. They have to feel comfortable. They have to go through the process in smooth. I have to return phone calls. I have to be available when they have questions. This is the biggest purchase of their life. It's me and you. We have to make them get from point A to point B and make it smooth. Yeah. And to get to that hug at the closing table. And so I think that that's probably the best part of my relationships with real estate agents. They know how I feel about it. They know that they can trust me because I've been around a long time.
So what's something you appreciate about an agent who treats lending as a team support or sport?
I think that agents that do that are not only my favorite, but they're usually more successful. Most agents are more successful when they find an attorney and trust an attorney and let them do the legal part, but they communicate. They find a lender, they build a partnership, they bounce things back and forth. They're able to communicate the whole way to make sure that the client experience is the best. And that's the key to the whole thing is to make sure the client has a good experience from beginning to end.
Right, so that the client wins.
The client's got to win, of course. The client's got to get the house. The client's got to make a home out of it. I try to explain to every buyer that gets pre-approved by me, this is a business transaction until you close. It's not emotional because you haven't lived in the house yet. If you get the house, that's what you want ultimately, and that's your dream. But if you don't, there was a reason you didn't get it. Right. There has to be, but it's a business transaction. Once you turn it emotional, things happen.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go over to the technology side of it real quick. Okay. So the mortgage industry has changed, just like everything else around here has changed over the last few years. All right. Between automation, digital underwriting, AI-driven approvals and stuff like that. How is Weatherstone Mortgage using technology to make the lending process faster and easier?
I'm being forced into it. I'm old school. I like to see people in front of me. My office is very different now. We used to wear a suit every day and clients wearing every day. We could go 2 weeks without a client in the actual office now because everybody uses it. Everybody uses a phone. Everybody communicates from a phone. Everything is e-signed. Everything is technology driven. We have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have all that stuff. I get people referred to me through that, which is unbelievable. It's a thing that my children will tell you I was forced into. I'm getting better at it. I'm here. I'm doing stuff like this, which I normally would never do. There's some positives and negatives in it. Okay. I find that when it comes to sales and getting referrals and stuff like that, there's positives to it. The negatives to it is I am a big person that says automated underwriting is okay. It's not good. It's not great. It's okay because everybody has a story.
Yes.
And automated underwriting takes the human
Out of it.
aspect of out of it.
Yeah.
And you're now, everybody's on a plane, it's equal playing field and they go through it, but there's circumstances and we're humans, we're not robots. So not everything is the same. And you having a 720 credit score and the other person having a 719, I find that one point is rough to change the rate or to change the deal, or the DTI is 50.5 versus 49.9. And you're going to decline the loan, and not a human saying, "Oh no, that's fine."
Right.
But
Yeah,
now
automation
a
doesn't
computer
know the story.
says, "No, that's the way it is."
Yeah.
Outside compensating factors are not taken into it. I'm not convinced AI, and here's the reason of my AI so far. I don't like the fraud in AI. I don't like that my clients get calls from an AI phone number that says, "Oh, you did your mortgage through Nick, and we're now calling you to refi." The person thinks they're related, that's a call based on me, and it has nothing to do with me. I tricked AI. I said that I was 6'2", and I posted it on 3 different things that I was 6'2". So now, for a little while, if you asked AI how tall is Nick Ceccarini, it said 6'2". So I was able to trick it in the fact that, is AI always correct? But it is the future. Right. Everybody uses it. Everybody uses ChatGPT or whatever it's called, and I don't use any of it. I'm going to get there eventually. Right now, but technology is definitely something we need. It is something that's advanced and it works.
Okay. All right, great. So looking ahead, all right, what's next for Weatherstone Mortgage? Like, what are your goals for 2026?
We want to grow a little bit. So the company, when I took the company over in 1999, we had about 25 employees. In 2008, we had about 100. Now we have about 13 or 14. Oh. When 2008 happened, we shrunk and stayed that way. 25 is the ideal size for a mortgage brokerage. I don't need to be bigger than that. I still want to keep knowing every client that comes in, who they are, what their loan's like. The quality control is still there. The people are still treated like family. When you get that big, other things happen, and you don't get that one-on-one with the clients. You don't get to know who they are. You don't get to know about their loan, and they become a number. I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to do that again. I want to still be able to have that young couple in front of me. So I see us growing a little bit. We still do $200-300 million a year in mortgages. So we still do we still do the business. I still do my open houses on weekends and during the week and love it. I'm still, out there every day, still answering my phone every day, and I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So before we wrap it up, where can listeners reach out to you?
Okay.
How can they get in touch with you?
Our office is in Holbrook. Our phone number is 516-349-8181. You can look at weatherstonemortgage.com. We're on Instagram under Weatherstone Mortgage. We're on Facebook under Weatherstone Mortgage. That's where you can reach us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nick, for coming back.
Thank you, Kim. This was great. And I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to another great episode of The Dream is Real. Before you forget, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you never miss another episode. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Dream Select Realty and on X at Dream Select Home. If you would like to be a guest on the show and you have a story to tell, you can reach out to us at hometeam@dreamselectrealty.com. And always remember, the dream is real.